Welcome, welcome, welcome back to a regular Drink While You Think. Hope everyone enjoyed. If you haven't watched the most recent one before this, please go back and watch it. It's amazing. The best part about it, guess who's not on it? Either one of us. I'm on it for like a second. I mean, your usual host, me, of course, Kenji, you know him.
I'm Matthew.
But the last episode really didn't have either one of us on it, which was what made it great. It's fantastic.
I knew I wasn't going to be on it. Kenji totally had the administrator fail for him not to be on it. So
if you watched it, yes, you saw me on there for a minute until I realized we had some technical limitations, only exacerbated by my preparation limitations. So
that's what you get for throwing a conference, man.
We'll talk about that. We're going to definitely talk about Acuitycon. We'll probably wrap up with that. We'll get to first, most importantly, Mr. May, what are you drinking today?
I'm out of beer in my house. So I have a good tip for everybody though. I have an everyday drinking wine, which is a nice way of saying a cheap ass wine. So this everyday drinking, the definition it specs one time the guy says it's under $10. So the Campo Viejo Rioja at Kroger sometimes goes on sale for as little as $6.70. So its normal price is like $11 or $12, and on the Vino app, I think it's like a $11 or $12 bottle. But this one I got for $8. So this is and I buy these in increments of 6. That is how good of an everyday wine this is for me. So
you didn't live in Spain, but you spent a lot of time in Spain, and that's kind of how the Spanish drink. Like you have everyday wine, right?
Yeah, my wife, you know this. My wife is a professor, so she has an exchange program with the University of Madrid. So we've been to Madrid. You know, I've been to Madrid 3 or 4 times. She's been half a dozen times. And Rioja is a region in Spain, so it's different. Like the bottles of wine in Spain are different. Instead of like Merlot, which is a type of grape, Rioja is a region. So the grape in this is a Tempranilo, but it's called a Rioja. So, but that's a region. It's like a Napa. Like it's not their Napa, but that's a region that I like. I don't know why.
It's a good. Hey man, I like it. We learned something a little bit new today. Not the usual beer stuff, but
I'm cultured, man. Who knew?
You're cultured, and you're also out of beer. So look at this one I got. This is the Emerald Grouper.
Emerald Grouper.
Yeah, from
Pipeworks
Brewing. It's out of Chicago. Well, by the way, congratulations, Chicago Bears being 4-0. They beat Tampa last night. We were talking about. We didn't realize they was playing. They played the Bucks last night. They beat Tampa.
I know. That's pretty.
That makes us happy.
That's because Tom Brady didn't know it was 4th down.
That's crazy. You see that? That was crazy.
That's so awesome.
That's a good reason to celebrate. So this is local beers. Actually, a friend of mine owns a beer store. So I just went in. I wanted to go in and buy like just a bunch of random singles. So this was in there. I didn't know anything about it, but I looked it up. Out of Chicago, and it's an Imperial IPA, also a double IPA. Do you know what that means?
I don't know, but I don't like them either.
You would not like this at all. This is like, I looked at it, I'm like, oh, it's a double Imperial IPA. That means like super IPA. Like it's a 9.5. I mean, this is like.
I tend to like the higher alcohol content beers actually. So, but I don't know why I don't like the double IPAs.
I mean, that's super bitter. Super bitter. Interesting.
Well, I got my go-to wine, so I'm ready.
You're right. Speaking of things that I like, I mean, we're going to do random news. Well, random news, some accounting news, and we'll get into Acuitycon. What are things you think of that Kenji likes? We're going to combine a few.
That Kenji likes?
Yeah.
Sports?
Yeah.
Outdoor.
Well, which sport? I mean, in particular.
I don't know if I can do them in order, but definitely.
Well, you think about a sports team.
Atlanta Falcons.
Okay, there we go. Let's stick with the Falcons. So,
Demon Deeks. Oh,
outside of that, we got the Falcons. We're going to combine a couple other things I like too. You know what else? Think something else that I enjoy.
Atlanta United soccer.
No sports anymore.
No sports anymore? Oh, outdoors. You like doing stuff like,
I do.
I mean,
That's not part of it. What else do I like?
brewing.
There you go, brewing.
Hobby.
I like beer. And there's a third thing. I won't make you get into it, but I've always musically liked hip hop. That's kind of I like rap, just especially 80s and 90s rap. So
half and half. Knew that. I could have guessed that probably.
They're interesting for sure. Combination of all three things. Check this out. We've got a new brewery opening up. This is the Nappy Roots. I'm not sure you probably know them. They were in a huge group. Interesting that they kind of had a mix of rap and country. They're opening a microbrewery in Castleberry Hill. You know what this is? This is a block south of Mercedes-Benz.
Oh, wow.
So you got a old hip hop group I used to enjoy who's brewing craft beer right there by Mercedes-Benz.
Is this like if they went on a camp out with it, you would be like,
oh man, we went outdoors on a camp out. That would be amazing. Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of my super kind of random news. Time to find ways to it'd be nice if we can go back and see the Falcons. I guess we can. They're gonna let people in there, but I don't think it's gonna be us.
They're letting people in on Sunday, so tickets are available.
I can't imagine why. All right, let's go into some industry news stuff.
Okay.
Our favorite, the PPP.
Oh,
sorry, I had to. The PPP, and we were kind of joking about this earlier. The new interim final ruling. What? I mean, is it? You complained about it before. I think on Drink What You Think. I mean, here it is. Here's another new interim final ruling. She's the dumbest.
This is like the interim. This is like the 7th or 10th version of it. Like somewhere in the, I can't even guess how many versions of this they have been. I'm guessing it's kind of in the 5 to 15.
Yeah, we should look that up. Like they should have it. Like when you think about, you get your new iOS update, it tells you at least it's like 14.1.2, at least you kind of have some sense of, well, not really, a little bit of a sense of version history. Like what version history are we on here with the PPP?
You know what this reminds me of? When we used to build financial models and we put final.
Yeah, that's right.
Like a week later, you get final version 2 or final version 4.
That's accountants.
Never name anything final. I don't care.
We can't ever leave it done, but maybe I may have to brew a beer, find something to kind of for the PPP to call it the interim final something. I don't know. It's just stupid, but not crazy surprising. I mean, I was a little surprised by the dollar amount threshold in this one. It's $50,000. Any loans that are $50,000 and under, now they've kind of waived off, or they basically given exemptions for the typical things that would reduce your forgiveness, like you didn't bring back as many employees headcount as you thought. You didn't raise back up compensation levels. So they're just saying, no, we're going to forgive the whole thing and don't worry about those and sign off on the form. But there were a few other things in there. That was about it. I was kind of waiting for something new to come through, but I guess you saw one of our clients get theirs actually forgiven this week, right?
Yeah, that was a little over 50,000. Yeah, we got our first notice was October 7th. Their bank submitted their application for forgiveness on September 21st, so not a crazy lag. And then the banker told them it was the first one that they'd gotten approved at the bank. So the bank didn't even know how to credit the loan. He said they'll figure it out, but. I tweeted it out. I was like, it's another time when a community bank is kicking these big banks' butts. I'm just saying, like, if you're a small business, I don't know why you're using Chase and Wells Fargo and SunTrust and all these places, because the community banks just are, man, they're just more accommodating.
Well, okay, I agree with that, but is it more accommodating or is it just less process? Do they have less,
It's less process. It's like,
I mean, but if you're the business owner, that's what you're looking for. You're not looking for. I mean, most of the processes these big banks put in place is for their benefit, not really for a business owner's benefit. So,
amen.
We'll take less process.
And if you have any kind of lifestyle business, you know, man, go where the service is.
Where the service is, absolutely. Anything else on the PPP there? I mean, I guess we really need to kind of find out what's.
Well, we're hoping the taxability gets, I guess it was off this week and now it's back on the second bill. So we're hoping taxability gets addressed in the second bill with the new relief, but I'm doubtful of that because it seems like they're going to have to keep that pretty skinny. It seems like it's tense in Washington.
I was just going to say, I think the election cycle we're in, trying to get through this last round of stimulus through, and this most recent round, that's kind of dominating the headlines right now. I mean, it's dominating everybody's attention.
Yeah, but people don't have to apply for forgiveness before they do their tax return.
I know.
Like there's some people are going to do the tax return so they can kick the can on, then forgive it in the next year, and then do you have to then go revise your 2020? If you file 2020 and then apply for forgiveness, would you have to apply 2020?
Largest amount of amendments of all time.
There's no credits to apply in 2021. Like this is going to be a damn mess. It's no matter what, it's going to be a damn mess, but it's going to be a damn mess.
Yeah.
There's going to be a box where we put, like, there's going to be some IRS guidance coming out, I guess, hopefully soon. So
we shall see. Okay. In other accounting news, one of our great tech stack partners, let's see, where are they? Avalara had an acquisition this week.
Oh, wow.
They were at Acuitycon last week as well, too. We were excited to have them. They acquired TTR, Transaction Tax Resources. Doesn't look at TTR's logo. Don't they look like there's some kind of like university or something, or some kind of college?
It kind of looks like that.
It was however, $377 million in cash.
Good to be TTR.
Yeah, and looked like also they mentioned, so you'd know more about this than I would, just more recency in public. Avalara announced too that this acquisition, which was done at the beginning of October, so right at the beginning of Q4, would add $20 million in revenue to 2020 and be neutral from an EBITDA standpoint. So, or net income, yeah. So I'm like, okay, so I guess they only get to count since the acquisition the fourth quarter. So these guys at best were maybe doing 80 million in revenue. I'm like, that's a 4.5x all in cash. I'm like, that's kind of nice.
Doesn't suck.
Does not suck. They did a little bit of looking at them. I mean, again, this is one of the dominant tax information resources, so where accounting firms could go and subscribe. I don't know if I know there are other products around there out there, Thomson Reuters, others, people would CCH, but I didn't really know TTR. But interesting because it's certainly a lot bigger than just sales tax. So
I mean, Avalara seems to be making a push into where they're the total solution, right? Like where they're helping you get registered, they're helping, I really like the attention that they're putting on the pain of getting sales tax is a pain.
Yeah.
And they're not just worried about compliance, it doesn't look like. They're worried about helping you get registered, helping you make your monthly filings, helping you get it on your invoices right. I mean, I have to tell you, I bought their stock when they went public.
Well, you'd be happy to know this, that about a 5% bump just since the announcement there. So,
oh, cool. Awesome.
Too. So yeah, I did not. I should have. But yeah, I like the direction. I mean, I think that just knowing the space, like we and a lot of other people probably watching this do, tax is one of those, tax needs some help on the solution side for sure. And I think if you read everything that Avalara is talking about, it is really bringing some modern cloud technology to a large suite of tax challenges for businesses. So they can solve that, and they're doing that in a couple of places. I mean,
but they're doing it in a way like Gusto does it though. They're making the registration easier in the new states you go to. They're making it, you know what I mean? Like they're doing it smart. So it's a good thing. Congrats to Avalara and the TTR guys. That's cool.
Congrats. Excited about that for them. Always like seeing things taking place in our space. That's all I've got for accounting stuff. I guess it made me think of looking at that collegiate ish logo from TTR. How is I think our kids are all out on fall break right now. Yours not out right now?
No, they're out Monday and Tuesday.
Mine are out. Well,
mine don't have fall break. Mine started after yours, remember?
Oh, that's right. Mine right now, though, is sitting downstairs working on college applications.
Oh, yeah. Mine first is due on October 15th.
October 15th, the first round due. Yep. Is yours all done with his? Or
he's on draft 7 of his college essay with his mother. You can imagine, in my house. And his English teacher has taken 2 passes at it. So he's been much more diligent about his college essays than I ever was. So I don't
remember those being as big of a deal. Like, it's a big deal. Like, what I was going to say is excited as my senior in high school is to get out of our house. This is kind of jamming him up a little bit. Like, in fact, he's usually the one who kind of gets through everything. Like, I think he's just really nervous about all of it. Like, it's hard.
Mine too. He's a little jammed up, but he's making progress.
He seems like he's making progress. Yeah.
He stayed up till like 4 in the morning the other day, just on his own, just like plowing through stuff. Yeah. I started doing the FAFSA today until I got to the link with the IRS, and my freaking tax return is still not filed. But
we have to have those filed first. Is it this year? I bet I'm going to do the same thing too. I was just told downstairs before I walked up here, like, hey, you got to do the FAFSA thing. Or
I got stopped at the tax return side, so I'm filing my tax. Well, I got to file in the next 6 days. So,
so sorry for everyone else having to do it.
And then been linked up. So
there is actually a tie-in. Yes, regardless, if you want any kind of scholarship or any kind of help, you basically have to also, what's it called again? It's like FAFSA. You have to get your tax return in there. You want your kid to go to college and have opportunities for scholarships or things like that.
I think part of it is like some of the colleges are broke too. So even if you're not going to get financial aid, they'll know that you're not going to get financial aid. You'll be a full payer. Yeah. That's why I'm doing that, just in case, for that way too. Like, they're like, whatever can help right now.
Yeah, I think you're dead on there. Yeah, get that information in, and even if you're not sure about a scholarship, this may be the legit way, the non-Lori Loughlin way, to show a school you got income just to pay tuition, above board tuition.
Yeah, I'm happy to pay. I value college education. My wife is a professor. I value it highly. I haven't saved, but I will have enough money to pay.
We will gladly pay. This is the things that we pay for.
This is what we value at my house.
All right. Well, let's jump over to
Acuitycon.
The one, the only, the amazing. I'm just going to show it real quick, because those who weren't there can just see it. There's our homepage for our Acuitycon. We had a Acuitycon last week. It really, really was, well, of course, say anything about it. Let's kind of break it down a little bit and give people thoughts. We'll just show this and we'll come off the screen in a minute. But first of all, we used a technology called Hopin.
That was a good move.
Yeah, I was going to say, what was your thoughts about Hopin? Likes, dislikes overall?
The big takeaways I heard were people like to lurk. So people like to be on video, but them not on video, and then watch the speakers and the talker and only engage in video when they wanted to.
So they're not like most people are not like us, you mean? Yeah.
So they're way less Zoom fatigue, yep. Like camera fatigue with Hopin. Then the networking feature in Hopin. So this technology had a networking feature where you go to networking and you hit a button and it matches you up with somebody. And the feedback I got from that, I think you got the same feedback, was people met people that they wouldn't have normally. They said last year in person, they kind of stayed within their friend group and clicked and caught up with people. And this year they met a ton of new people because it was kind of enabled on that. So those are the two biggest things I heard from people, was like they like to lurk and like watch about all the technologies and hear what people are talking about, like you lurk at conferences. Yeah. And they liked the networking feature where they got outside their comfort zone.
Yeah, I heard the same ones. Only other one to add to it. would be, in the way we encourage people to do it, is to explore, like, right? You didn't feel locked into one session. Like, you could be like, oh, I'm kind of bored of whatever Kenji or Matthew's saying right now. You could jump out and go.
Yeah, it's not like you're getting up and walking out of a room. Like,
yeah,
nobody even knows.
you could go poke around the expo. Like, right now, I know that our team wouldn't want to show that you're doing that, but like, look at how you and I attend conferences. Like, we don't do anything that, the exhibit that they want us to do. We're all over the place, moving around, not doing anything, but that's more fun for us. So anyway, that part was nice too. The only negative I had about, well, I guess there was the one of, didn't realize the main stage could only have 5 people on the main stage. That
wasn't really a negative.
Yeah, I think the other one is that it's
that was
a little.
Kenji, though.
That was me. But I think also there could be a little bit of work to be done on making it easier to present the screen share. So some of our sessions, if you had basically slides to share, it wasn't that easy. But otherwise.
Yeah, I didn't like that you couldn't resize, like you couldn't maximize the screen share window. Oh, yeah. Like that about the platform. There was a lot of little things that they could improve on the platform, but overall, great feedback. So I was pretty excited. I thought as far as like winging our first virtual conference, I thought it was exceptional.
Yeah.
So you want to walk people through what we did?
Well, I was going to go through the walking through, or like favorite session. Well,
let's walk through the whole thing for them. Like first we
show the schedule real quick.
Oh yeah, like I mean, it ended up going pretty good. I think
scheduled so people can get a sense of like the flow of it.
Yeah, if you're thinking about doing a conference, one of the things we did, we made it only 3 hours a day. We were really worried about Zoom fatigue, but we kicked it off with like a State of the Union. So we do a normal like quarterly like kickoff. So
and also one more quick thing too, we did it to Matthew's point. We only did 3 hours. We also started it pretty intentionally. Most of us are on the East Coast, but not all of us, and so we started it in just after lunchtime here because we have West Coast team members too. So we wanted to make sure that it was at a time to where it wasn't ridiculous for one set of team members versus the other.
So then we did the kind of from a content perspective, we did like a State of the Union, kind of like, here's how we're doing our goals. Here's like the COVID update. We talked a little bit about some of the bigger business things that we have cooking that are potential coming up in the next few days and months. Then we went, that was about an hour. Then we let them, then there was a networking break where they did that round robin networking. Yeah. And then Kenji did a phenomenal job getting with the next 2 sessions. So the next 2 blocks, one was sessions. So we had 4 options, and then he had a panel, which is the last drink while you think. But do you want to talk a little about the people you recruited for that? Because it was like our favorite people from around the world. Like it is just phenomenal human beings that helped us out this year. And it was just, I was just so honored that they even gave their time. It was awesome. It was awesome.
I mean, you and I talked a lot about that. It's a good place to say it right here is, it's so incredible to see all of our team members there, which I always get a little bit kind of almost emotional when I see all the team members. And then when all of our friends who are people who are incredibly prominent in the industry, but who are also great friends, show up and like, hey, how can I help? And which we had a lot of that in our sessions. We took our sessions, and the way we kind of came about the sessions were, we thought through our teams at Acuity, and we thought, how do we create sessions that we think at least every team member can find at least a couple of these to enjoy. And we kind of just started thinking about what that meant. And not everybody at Acuity is an accountant. And so we wanted to be a little more intentional this year about not just like hardcore accounting or accounting tech. And, there were some amazing sessions. Joel Lacayo's sales session was great. Like, right, we have a sales and marketing team and customer success, and that was fantastic. And like, just Joel being unfiltered and real with them was awesome. Nio Carter-Gray, who I just cannot thank enough. She's our only friend that did multiple things for us. I think just her insights into diversity within the accounting profession and what we need more of and how we can take action on that was just awesome. Just awesome. Blake and Evan from Giraffe talking about not just, hey, let's use, Giraffe. But it was about like, hey, what are the most pressing KPIs and reporting needs that people have during times of COVID? And then our wonderful friend Augusto, Jacqueline and Will, who came and talked about like, well, how did this whole people advisory thing come about? And is there more opportunities for clients? So that was great. And then I think the really, really fun one that you're kind of at the end of the day, right? You're 3 hours into the day one and things are rocking and rolling. And then our future of the accounting profession one here just came in and kind of crushed it. And it was, those are one silver lining with COVID was we realized because we couldn't get people here, we might think really expansively and get people from all over the world. So the fact that we went and intentionally built an international panel of speakers, of panelists who just talked about in an unfiltered way what their thoughts are about the profession and the future of our profession. And so we wanted to make that available to everybody. That's our most, go back and look at that and you'll hear, what Rachel from Canada is thinking about, what Will over in the UK, who's built an amazing practice over there, what he sees over in the UK and in Europe. And then Heather Smith, who's been at the forefront of this for a long time in Australia, and that which many people consider the most forward-thinking part of our profession down in Australia and New Zealand. Just some great insights. And then having Nio and then the one and only Michael Lee representing us in the US, right? And it was just...
I can't, we probably need to up our game with instead of Michael next year, like up it with somebody else that has some decorum, but that's all right. I love Michael was the fan favorite, everybody. Just like my favorite was Heather, like pinch hitting for you and moderating that group of just incredible people. That was just above and beyond. But when you have Michael in a panel, like whoever moderates, gets my hat tip to them. So
yeah, to try to keep him in check. And again, Matthew, you kind of mentioned this and you'll see it. Like we literally 30 seconds before walking into the session realized that I was supposed to moderate. I couldn't do it because there weren't enough spots for everybody. And so wonderful.
Had 6 people and the platform had a limit of 5 to show on the screen at any time.
and wonderful Heather Smith said, I've already got all the questions printed out here. I'm ready to go. I'll take it. And so it was a little bit scary for me going, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be leading this thing. I got to step out as an attendee, and they were amazing. So yeah, great day one.
That was just so those people know, that was even the entertainment thing at the year, the panel everybody says was better than even the entertainment thing at the end.
Yeah.
I was told that was everybody's favorite.
Yeah. They were awesome. Day two. Want to talk about day two?
I'm sure everybody had different favorite, but that was the most popular favorite session that we had.
The panel by far.
Yeah. And then the next day we got up, we said hi to everybody, and then we let them loose on an expo. And the expo was 20 booths, and you had a remote booth. We had all our tech startup partners there. We had our team that supports Salesforce there for some internal stuff. We had a booth, like people came by and people would just pop by and ask questions. And man, hats off to our tech partners because they were just fun as all get out. Like that's just always fun to see those guys.
So much fun doing all that. Yeah, it was, I got one of our call box. So it was one of our tech partners on, and it's just fun to see everybody and be able to pop in there and say hi and thanks. And every time you pop into a new booth virtually, there were our tech partners like in conversation with team members, and just, it was, exceptional, really good. Again, the platform was hugely beneficial for that.
Yeah, and that was where being COVID helped out too, because like A2X could join, right? Like, so it was like, so we had Helm could join, A2X could join, like,
A2X, even Patrick, who's also up in Canada as well too.
Patrick from Beam was able to join. Like he came down last year anyway. So, and then we closed it with something fun. So we found a great little magic act, a group out of New York called Digital Deception that closed it out. And if you guys are looking for something fun for your team, that was also really well received. We're happy to give an endorsement for those guys.
It was super cool. And I was mostly kind of tickled by, I thought it was fun, was Matthew just doesn't get nervous. Like he just does not like, he's just kind of like, you see me, he doesn't care. He's like, whatever. By day 2, things were going well enough and people were having so much fun that like he started getting nervous for the surprise event because that was the one thing he was in charge of, was a surprise event. And he started getting nervous about it. Like, man, this is going so well. I don't want it to be bad. I don't want the last thing to be bad. He was really nervous about it, which was funny. And then it was awesome. Like just seeing, we told everyone, Tech Stack team members, guests, our team, bring your family, bring your kids, invite whoever you want.
But it was a surprise. So we didn't know if people like magic, didn't like magic. I was truly stressed.
You were. And I mean,
the only people I had told were my kids, who I thought would think that was cool. And of course, like made me feel like crap the day before, like, because they didn't want to come.
They're teenagers. Nothing we do can ever be cool for teenagers.
My daughter was a good sport and came to support me though. So
yeah, it was just, I mean, I think our takeaway what worked is, in fact, we've been invited to a lot of conferences this year that were great. And so some other courageous people went before us. Gusto, Nio, Amanda, people like that who were just really courageous and went ahead of us. And we learned we picked up we basically stole from all of them some things there. And then we realized that what we were missing out most was just connectivity with people. Like we were like, we're going to lean into not heavy CPE, not heavy technical learning. Like we need to find a way to build connection and build some little bit of joy and fun and happiness for everybody. And it came out great. We forgot to even mention too that our wonderful Kelly Spangers, who packed up individual boxes for all team members of just goodie bags of like
102 goodie bags.
Acuity swag.
All the Acuity swag for all.
Like, you got a bunch of stuff at my desk and shirts and and my Acuity hat.
She's back from the vacation recovery. Maybe we'll do something for the nice people that did that stuff.
So it just was, it came out great. I would encourage. I've been telling other people it took a lot of effort and work, but
for sure, reach out if you want to experience share on that.
Yeah, talk to us about it. I guess maybe wrapping it up, so I know we've gone along. Let's pray we don't have to do it this way again next year. If we are, oh geez, I mean, who knows? This will be rough. But if we had to do it again virtually, what would you change?
If I had to do it virtually, I think people were okay with the length. I think we could have added an hour to each day potentially. If you do, my big takeaway from an organizer perspective, if you do the kind of the optional stuff where you can lurk, I think I would have added a session on the first day. I would like to see our vendors really like connecting with each other. I don't know how we incorporate that. If you just make the expo felt the right amount of time, because it was kind of starting to wind down. Like it wasn't fun for me because I was kind of manning it. So I assumed the people manning it weren't there. I don't know how to synthesize the water cooler, happy hour, after party stuff. So I would want to give more thought to that.
Yeah.
I do know there's some places where you can kind of like linger around and be in a virtual world. But those are the couple things that I would think about.
Yeah, I think very similarly. I think I would have probably, we could have, it wasn't terrible. We could have dialed back, I think, a little bit of the time on the expo. Because I think I'm thinking in terms of, I want our team to get value out of that, which they did for sure. I also want, I get really wrapped up in making sure that all of our tech stack partners, if they come or they show up, they get value. So I would like to think about that a little bit more, like, hey, can we do some things specific to them of like, you came and presented all your stuff to all of our team. It's your turn now. Like how, if we truly partner with you, which we do, what are your needs? Like how do you go flip the tables on us and you get to come in and ask whatever you want to us, almost like a reverse, like expo or something, you know?
We talked about doing that last year when people were down. We did that a little bit because we do that with some of our tech partners. We do like whiteboard sessions with people. I think that would be a cool ad. I don't think all of them.
About that a lot. You're right. We just haven't really figured out how to do it yet.
Yeah, I think we could do that with a subset. with the tech stack team, with the controller subset, with the CFO subset, with the bookkeeping subset. Like,
I agree.
Interesting. Yeah, that'd be a cool thing.
I know you can't do this because, you're not drinking beer, but geez, Matthew.
But just remember the Campo Viejo Rioja.
Okay.
An everyday wine that you don't feel guilty about opening, because God knows we're not drinking during COVID, right, folks?
No, definitely not. Can you see Untapped?
No, I can see your mountains with a screen with it.
That was me skiing.
Basin.
Hold on a second. Sorry. Try it again. Okay. By the way, everybody, here's a trick. You want to be featured on Drink What You Think? Become our friend on Untapped. We have one friend on Untapped, 2 friends. And our buddy, head of customer success, Trey Chavez, is basically the only person in our feed. And then I think Kai is a friend of ours too, but I don't think is it right? I don't think she's in there. Let's see, who else is there?
Wasn't Chris?
Kai, come on, Kai, drink some beer and put it in there. But otherwise, you get featured. So let me put mine in here. This Emerald.
You're calling out Chris May on this one. Like, the founders of Untapped. You got to be a member. Then you got to friend us. You're on Drink What You Think, man. Come on.
I like this. I thought this was very good. For look at that, 9.5. So probably be my downfall. Like it's smoother than I would have thought. Really, really good kind of hoppy bitterness, but not like the super bitterness punch you in the face for a 9.5. I liked it. I'm gonna go with 4. I don't get in the 4s that often.
I know you're gonna bring its average down, dude.
You know what? I'm gonna go 4.25.
Watch it. Look at the pressure. He doesn't want to hurt the average.
Well, wasn't the average? I thought a little bit also, but too, I'm like, you know what? This was a good Drink While You Think. It was a good episode of lots of fun things.
Definitely reach out if you're interested in throwing an event or you're doing one and you want some experience shares of like what we did, good and bad. We're happy to just chat. So, and
I would encourage you to do it. If you're a business owner,
for sure,
do it. I think that people, all of us, as much you and I do this for our own sanity. We're pretty sure no one listens to it. But finding ways to get people to connect and your team to connect are important. And there's ways to do it that aren't that difficult and aren't that costly either. Not just staring at each other via Zoom the whole time. There's ways to do it. So yeah, if you please reach out to me or Matthew, you can always do that, and we're happy to talk about it. But maybe the easiest way to do that is to hit subscribe, to like the video, and then to post a comment. And not one of those comments that we get weird, like Russian comments about like fake Gucci bags and stuff like that. Like a legitimate comment from a real person would be great.
We will read your comment on air. Well, that's what we should say. We will read your comment on air. If you have
we're learning from the pros, the Cloud Accounting Podcast pros. Leave a comment, we'll read it on the air. So right now, all I can tell you is, if you'd like a fake Fendi or Gucci bag, go to this weird, sketchy website. How about some real ones? So,
yeah.
Cheers, everyone.
Have a great weekend, everyone.